Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is about COVID. How do we manage in outpatient basis, and how do we screen and test them? So it's just a revision of case definitions, which are two definitions which we need to keep in mind. One is the influenza-like illness, which is an acute respiratory infection with a measured fever of more than or equal to 38 degrees centigrade. Next one is the SARI, which is an acute respiratory infection with a history of fever or measured fever of more than or equal to 38 degrees centigrade, an onset of cough within last 10 days requiring hospitalization. So what is the rationale for OP management in COVID-19 and why is it preferred? Approximately 80% of patients' illness is mild and does not warrant any medical intervention or hospitalization. And remote management even prevents unnecessary inpatient medical visits, avoids additional unnecessary strain on an overburdened healthcare system, and prevents unnecessary exposure of other patients as well as healthcare workers. In CMC, how do we manage? It's a small algorithm in which either the asymptomatic household or a close contact of confirmed COVID-19 patients or an adult patient with history of fever and cough for less than or equal to 10 days, which can be either a documented temperature of more than 100.4 in hospital or elsewhere, comes to either fever clinic or comes to adult casualty, and they are separately seen in the isolation facility. So first, they are divided into mild, moderate symptoms requiring admission and severe symptoms requiring ICU admission. So if it's a mild symptoms, then they can come to the OPD testing in kiosk according to the patient's preference, either in CMC or in a government setup. Or if it is a moderate symptoms, they can get admitted in a COVID suspect ward for testing. Or if it is a very severe one, they can be stabilized in casualty and admitted in ICU for testing. So in mild symptoms, patients are asked to self-isolate at home or lodge, and test results will be informed by phone. If it is negative, goes back to the primary OPD for further management. If it's positive, they are offered isolation ward management. If it's a moderate symptom, once again the same thing. They will be shifted back to the general ward and the treating unit if it's positive for the isolation ward. In ICU also the same one. They have a test negative ward, that is a HDU or an STICU. So coming about the patients without COVID symptoms coming to CMC for other illnesses. So it is divided into either overseas patients or high prevalence states and Chennai included in the same category, or a low prevalent states or high prevalent districts in Tamil Nadu, containment zones from other hospitals, or from the remaining low prevalent districts. So coming to the overseas patients, if they come to an OPD setting, I just deal about the OPD setting right here now, and we have the whole table in internet speaking about when they come to casualty, what to do and all. Whereas here I just describe the OPD management alone. Overseas, if they come to OPD or for elective admission they come, testing is to be done, and the place seen or tested is the M3 ward. And if it is negative, hospital plus home quarantine for 14 days, and then further treatment can be continued. If it is from a high prevalence state or from Chennai and they come to OPD, testing is also mandatory. If it is asymptomatic, they are tested in kiosk in M block or a fever clinic between 8 to 10 a.m. So the advice will be the treatment of the primary illness and advised home or lodge quarantine for 2 weeks, and the list is being given to the health authorities. When it comes to the low prevalence states or high prevalent districts and containment zones, hospitals or low prevalent districts, and they come to OPD for other illnesses, testing is not to be done, and they are managed in respective OPD and treat the primary illness and advise home quarantine for 2 weeks, and the list is being given to the health authorities. Here we need to be updated every now and then about the low prevalent districts, high prevalent states, and everything. So kiosk testing, what should we know as a physician? So patient consents for testing in CMC, or if the patient is not willing for CMC. This is the two scenarios which we will get. And if the patient consents for testing in CMC, doctor completes the ICMR form, consent form, and the HICC form, then orders the online test, and they are sent for swabbing. The swabbing timings usually are 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., which can be flexible. And next, if the patient is unwilling to test in CMC, they are advised to go to GH for testing after getting their information and informing the appropriate authorities, that the government representative whose phone number is available in the internet, and the MS office, and all the details are entered by a nurse in a register. When coming to, is fever screening effective, which is the usual symptom screening which we do for a COVID-19. Though fever is the most common symptom, it can be absent when the patient is asymptomatic or in incubation period, or when the patient conceals symptoms. And the screening tool which we use is a handheld non-contact thermometers, and the reliability of such thermometers are questionable at present. So this is a study about estimated effectiveness of symptom and risk screening to prevent the spread of COVID-19, which was published in Feb 2020. So here we need to know, I just enumerate the gist of that study, where the majority of screening failures arise from undetectable cases, that is those without symptoms or those who don't even have the knowledge of their own exposure. And availability of rapid PCR tests would also be beneficial for case identification at arrival. And as we all know, respiratory viruses are difficult to detect by symptom as well as risk screening programs, particularly if a substantial fraction of infected people show mild or indistinct symptoms, as in COVID-19, which is the current pandemic. So the handheld thermometers, the questionable effectiveness has been studied in many of the studies, and handheld cutaneous infrared thermometers was less accurate than the tympanic thermometer and other infrared systems for fever detection. And it is highly operator dependent, which is mainly depending on the distance with which it is being tested. So coming to about the home quarantine guidelines by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. A contact in the context of COVID-19 is defined as a person living in the same household as a COVID-19 patient, or having had direct physical contact with the COVID-19 or its infectious secretions without PPE or with a possible breach in PPE. Next comes a person who was in a closed environment or had face-to-face with the COVID-19 at a distance of within 1 meter, which includes both air travel and any forms of transport for that matter. So do's and don'ts for a person who is quarantined is stay in a well-ventilated room, preferably with an attached and a separate toilet. If another family member needs to stay, it's advised at least to maintain a distance of 1 meter, and away from elderly people, pregnant women who are the high-risk ones, and with comorbidities within the household. And he has to restrict his movement as far as possible, and he shouldn't attend any social or religious gathering for any reason. And as usual, the hygiene practices like washing hands often with soap and water with alcohol-based sanitizer is recommended. And as far as possible, to avoid sharing household items like dishes, drinking glasses, which can be a source of infection. And he should be wearing a surgical mask at all time, and mask should be changed every 6 hours and disposed of in appropriate. Thank you.